Morning, it's me again. Oh, mosquitoes flying around my head. I ain't got my head net on. So anyhow, I'm on this other trail that starts Manor House. Part of it didn't show up all that great. Anyhow, this trail's not as long. There's really not a lot on it, but being your first time seeing it, it either probably is. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause this and get my head net thing put on. Okay, I've got it on. So, like I said, there's really not a whole great big bunch. Probably should have brought my reading glasses so I could see what I'm doing. I'm basically looking for the same thing. Trees down over the trail, or anything that needs to be took care of. There's a stone bench that they've got. Probably maybe about 100 yards or so in on the trail. There's a log down over the road, or over the trail, right there. Now, just I think it was yesterday, there's actually people in here on this. Why they didn't say anything, I have no idea. So I don't know. Yeah, I can't budge it. I'll have to get the chainsaw out and cut it. I can do that today. I've got hot tubs to go do the chemical checks on, and we got a helipad up here. I've got to get weeds growing up in it sprayed. That's the way they can make out where the helipad's at. It's just a great big giant H, letter H on the ground. There's another spider web. And yeah, some, looks like, yep, he did, he caught something. I don't know if I can get, yeah, I can get under it. Yeah, I got under it. No sense in killing it, even though I am scared to death of them. Here's that footbridge in that last video that I made. And there's over there across the creek is the sign. I don't know if I just turned the light on that or not. And here's a gas line marker. They put these up, let people know that there's a gas line running through here. Plus they also kind of cut a trail up through there so they can access it. It's supposed to be, gas company's supposed to come out and maintain that. I don't think they have been. And here's the name of the trail that we're going on today, Highland Scots Trail. Which I don't know why or who even thought the names up of these. Now, I think about a month or two ago we had a tree down out here and nobody could find it. So they ended up sending me out. And I drove the Kubota back there where that gas marker's at. And kind of sort of walked this trail here a little piece. And I got just roughly about 50 yards, I'm guessing, into it. And I found a tree down over the trail. Nobody was able to find it. And I went back up and let him know where the trail was at, or the tree was at, what trail it was on, all the markers and everything, let him know how far in it was. So Jeremy said he wasn't going to mess with it. And I told him, well, I can take a chainsaw in, I can take care of it myself. Well, that's all it took to change Jerry's mind on it. I guess that's where I made that comment in front of our maintenance supervisor. So we both come out here, and Jeremy actually drove the Kubota clear all the way up here. Took a little bit of doings, and he cussed up a storm while he was out here cutting this up. And right over in here, he got the saw stuck. And the whole time it was stuck, he was cussing up a storm. He and I both, we was trying to get it unstuck, and he finally gave up on it. And he left, went home. And it started raining. Well, one thing my dad told me is, leave your tools in the woods. Because number one, somebody come along and steal it. And number two, it's kind of sort of helps ruin them. So anyhow, this is the log he had the saw stuck in. And what I ended up doing was, I got an axe and cut down into it. And I think it only took me maybe about 20 minutes to get it unlodged. It's another footbridge. And I sent him a text. I never sent Rick a text about it, because I figured, well, I'll go ahead and let him have the credit for it. Well, he never said thanks or anything like that, so I'm thinking, well, if that's the way you want to be about it, I'll go ahead and let Rick know. But I told Rick the next day when I got the saw unstuck. And I guess that's what happens whenever you take that kind of an attitude towards it. Instead of thanks for getting our saw unstuck. In a way, it's not getting ruined. I don't know if that'll show up real good or not, but right there at the top of the screen is the back of one of the cottages or crofts. So basically all this trail does is, down there's the gorge. And we was just opposite of that last week on that other trail. But this one right here, it just kind of skirts along it. And everything up here to the left of us is pretty much all the cottages and crofts and stuff. So you get down here and you get tired of hiking, you can always just turn the head uphill and come out on regular ground. But there's some more of them. Oh, that's pretty. Sun is shining through. The old sunbeam are coming down. Washed down at the top. I don't know why they don't make a trail down to this gorge and build a bridge over it. Because Old Man's Cave area has got a bridge that goes over the gorge. I mean, it's built sturdy, but whenever you're walking on it, you can feel it bowing, bouncing underneath of you. And then you get some little kid wants to go running across it. And it really bounces. There's another big old tree down. Tree top stuck in another tree. I'm kind of surprised the guy that originally bought this out here, like sometime early 2000s, I think it was, bought it, and they built manor house and part of the carriage house. And then later on, another footbridge, another feeder stream going down to the gorge. Another one of them big beech trees I was telling you about. And this one don't look like anybody has marked it up like they did on that other one. Anyhow, they built it, and later on they started building the what they call the crofts, which there's 4 of them, which is just basically I'm guessing maybe a 30 by 30 square, 30 foot by 30 foot, or trying to think how many meters that would be. Ain't that something? Anyhow, I think about 90 meters, give or take. Anyhow, 90 meters might be a little bit too much, I don't know. Anyhow, they had a little bit over 15 by 15, I'm thinking, meters. Anyhow, they got the cross built, and some reason the guy, I don't know if he wanted to retire or just got tired of it or what the deal was, so he ended up selling it. And some investors up in Columbus went together and they bought it. And then they built the cottages. Let's see, there's 3, 6, I think there's like 9 cottages out here. And they're about the size of a regular house. Let's just put it that way. Maybe sometime during the course of the day, I'll be able to get my phone out. I'll sort of show you. This is looking down into the gorge, and there's another sunbeam. And there's some more ferns. And looking up there where the cottages is at. They've got hammocks that they put out on all these, but I think 3, the cottages up here. And there's supposed to be chairs, but for some reason they haven't told me to put the chairs out yet. But right there about the center is one of those hammocks that they've got. And then right on up behind it, this is the back of one of the cottages. That back porch on it, that's where the hot tubs are. And they're basically privacy fence built around them. That way the people that's out there in them don't have to worry about somebody hiking down through here and stopping and gawking at them or staring at them. But it is, it's peaceful out here. And I'm kind of surprised that whenever they bought this, they didn't strip it. Of course, probably that long ago, wasn't much marketable timber. Here's the tree. It's about, say if you had a meter stick, it would be from here to here. If you laid it flat against it, it'd be a meter. It gives you an idea about how big around that tree is. Down in West Virginia, I think they ended up cutting it down because I think it got diseased. One point in time it was the biggest tree in West Virginia, and it was probably about 6 foot or a little over, well, about 3 meters in circumference. It was a big old maple tree at one of their state parks there along the Ohio River. One of the state parks that I frequented a lot. There's another hammock. And then stairs coming down to it. And then just right at the base of them stairs where them rocks is at, there's a little level spot, and that's where the chairs would go. I can't remember if there was one chair or two that went in there, but you could come down, lay in that hammock, and kind of sort of enjoy the woods and feed the mosquitoes. Basically. A couple more beech trees. A lot of these beech trees has got real smooth bark compared to some of the other trees around them. There's supposed to be a way on them beech trees that you can actually tap them and get water out of them. Like you tap them about like you would a regular maple tree. But you can do the same thing with a birch tree too. You can do the same thing with a maple tree if you can catch them the right time of year. That's basically all you're drinking, sap in a roundabout way, but it's got a high water content in it. But the first time I hiked this trail, I got up here, there's a sign just right up the way here. And on top of it, they got two figurines. And whenever I seen them, I didn't know what in the world it was, so it's to kind of sort of stop me dead in my tracks. And I got up here, I took a picture of it. And I got up here a little bit closer. I seen two yard gnomes. This one right here, he's got a thing inside of him. That thing sticking out of his mouth right here. It's a photo eye, and it's supposed to be as you walk past it, it'll whistle. So we just come off the Highland Scots Trail. Now I gotta walk Thistle Bluff Trail. Check that out. And believe it or not, there's a trail right here. It winds up the hillside, and it comes back out up here at the end of where the cottages is at. And this one right here, it goes down, it makes a loop. And it's right down over the hill here from where we're at, down in that direction. There's a park bench and some more of them garden gnomes. So I'll show you what I ended up doing here a couple of weeks ago, because people said that the trail, which it's not that well defined. When people said the trail wasn't well defined, and they was kind of sort of going off of it and getting lost. But right where you're at, if you was to continue right down over the hill here, you'd end up in the gorge, because it kind of sort of runs. This is coming back behind us, and remember the gorge is down over the hill. Kind of sort of runs down through here. It gets in here and it splits. It goes that direction, and it goes this direction. And all that down in there is part of that gorge. And the road, Mount Olive Road, is right straight direct that way. So basically, if you was to get down here, the rim of this gorge, and kind of sort of go off to your left, eventually you'll come back out on Mount Olive Road. And I know from experience, after being up here, that Mount Olive Road's not that far away. Okay, here is where the trail gets confusing. The trail actually heads down that direction. There's Deer Run, goes out that way. And what people was doing is, they would come right straight through here, right over this log, which I don't know why they never cut it up, probably couldn't find it. And they would continue right straight on out in that direction. And like I told you, that's where Mount Olive Road is at. It's probably about, I'm guessing maybe a kilometer, something like that. It's not very far away. And the first time I come down here, I kind of sort of got to looking. I couldn't make heads nor tails out of what was going on. The map that I had, it was kind of, wouldn't really tell me a lot. So what I ended up doing was I continued straight towards that road, like I was telling you. Got out there so far, and it basically turned into a deer trail. So what I ended up doing, I told Rick about it, and I said, you get a 2x4, cut it into slats, paint the tips of them. I said, you use that for a trail marker. Well, owners don't want to do that. So I'm thinking, okay, well, what else is there that we can do? I was like, well, you can paint spots on the trees. Well, they wouldn't want to do that. So in order to let people know that that isn't part of the trail, I found a bunch of dead logs, piled them up. Made basically like a wall, and I mean, it's pretty much obvious that's what it is. Let you go on down that way, but to show you what's out this direction, I'll kind of keep an eye open. Hopefully I'll find another deer track. Show you. Yep, that is. Ouch. Find them. Huh. Okay, that's what I tripped over. Barbed wire. Well, they told me there's a barbed wire fence out here. Well, guess what? I just found it. And it wasn't fun walking into it. Of course, it's laying down on the ground. Last time I was out here, I didn't see it. Basically, this right here is a deer trail. This is part of a well. Now, I'll tell you something about those wells. Place where I used to hunt at, there was a well out in part of it that I happened to find one day by accident. And it was lined with bricks and stuff, just like they used to do them back in the 17, 18, clear all the way up into the 1900s. And of course, nowadays they just kind of like sink a standpipe. Anyhow, this is where the visible trail actually ends at, and it basically opens up into like a little field. I never seen any deer tracks or anything out through here. So, I'm gonna head on back onto the main trail. Anyhow, where my mom grew up when she was a kid, or no, it wasn't either. It was, I think where her dad grew up. They had an old well, and I guess after his parents passed away, they never sold the house, but they went out there and started cleaning it out. Now, Mom said there was a bunch of antiques, and by antiques, meaning the old cast iron toys from mid-1800s. And they gathered them up. They threw them down in the well. And as far as she knows, that nobody ever went into the well, got the toys out of them, so they're still down there. Now, Whether or not the toys is any good is anybody's guess. I'm going to say they're probably not. You know, whenever I was a kid, see here where squirrels has been digging, carrying on. Whenever I was a kid, the old farmhouse was still standing. Sometime whenever I was a teenager, the local fire department used it for fire training. Went in and set it on fire and let it get fully engulfed, and then put it out with their new guys or their auxiliary, plus some of their old timers, get a little bit of hands-on practice at it. So basically it's no longer there, and just someplace in where it was sitting at, there's supposed to be a well. And maybe if you come over here, I'll take you down there and let you see where it used to be. Here's another garden gnome right there. Now why, I have no idea. They put them out here, or whose idea it even was to do it. I know it wasn't mine. Anyhow, there's more of those pine trees all in this area. And there's a couple more garden gnomes. And here's one of them that says it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Going back to an old Jimmy Buffett song. One of them that, okay, these right here, they're not real, by the way. They're yard ornaments, basically, or some people hunting will use them for decoys. And by that, they take them and lay them out in the field. It almost looks like Santa Claus standing there. They'll take them and set them out in the field, and they'll have duck blinds and stuff where they'll kind of lay and blow on their duck calls to try to lure the ducks into land, and then shoot them. Then they'll have a dog that they've got trained that'll go out and get the ducks for them. Park bench. And here's some bricks that they've got laying out here. I come out here about 2 weeks ago. It says, "Till all the seas gang dry, my dear, and the rocks melt with the sun," whatever that means. And this one here says, "My heart's in the highlands, a chasing the deer, chasing the wild deer and following the roe. My heart's in the highlands wherever I go." I don't know, kind of corny if you ask me. Anywho, I'll sit here on this park bench and take 5. But yeah, this is that Thistle Bluff Trail. And I don't know how many people actually make it down here, probably quite a few. And I just kind of wonder if they're able to tell what's the trail and what's not the trail with the way I've got that rigged up now. But I'll give you an idea. Actually, you can hear a car coming. Our gorge is right straight down there. That's where I told you it kind of splits and it goes 2 different directions. Right straight ahead of us, State Route 180. State Route 180 will take you into Circleville, I think. There's a couple of little tiny towns you have to go through. And then if you head the other direction, head east on it, once you get on Mount Olive Road, and you get ready to leave, you get down there on the 180, turn to your right, and it takes you back towards Logan. And that's pretty much the direction I go. It takes me roughly about a half hour, 40 minutes to get out here. Yesterday I actually left the house, got all the way out here. I even stopped in town, got me some breakfast, got all the way out here, and I think it was around about 6 o'clock or so. And got out of the truck, was walking towards the building, walking towards the shop, as we call it. Reached down in my pants pocket, and I didn't have the keys to get in the building. So what I ended up doing is I had to run clear all the way back to the house, find the keys, which luckily enough I found them. I changed my pants out the night before, and apparently I forgot to put the keys to the buildings out here in my pants pocket. Luckily enough, it's still laying in my bed. So I got them, and I told Maddie I forgot my keys. Patted her, told her to be a good girl, and hurried up and got back out here right around 7 o'clock. So it takes about a half hour, and that's not really driving the speed limit. It takes about a half hour for me to get out here, and didn't have too bad of a day yesterday. I had a water leak in the manor house, and it took me a while to find it, and I got it found and basically put a band-aid on it, a piece of wide rubber band with a what we call a hose clamp over it. And the Navy, they kind of sort of use something similar whenever they've got water lines and stuff in boats that's broke. Well, I'm going to go ahead on up around and head back up here to the cottages and stuff. And then, of course, I got to walk clear all the way back to the carriage house and get my club car that I'm driving today. I kind of sort of wish that they would make these wide enough to where you can actually drive them instead of having to walk, but it'll take getting the exercise part of it out. So, pull this thing here back down and keep mosquitoes off of me so I don't get malaria. Which, by the way, they're supposed to have quit treating with quinine. I don't know for sure what they treat it with now, but they found out that quinine causes health issues. There's gourds down there. What health issues, I don't really remember, but I read about it or something or the other whenever I was still working in the hospital. Just walk through a cobweb. Oh, I found Wednesday, this right here, trail, it's a false trail. It only goes so far and then stops. There's a big old tree down over the trail. I found a big old black snake laying in the back of the manor house the other night, Wednesday, whenever I went to bring the trash can back. And I snapped a picture of it before I took care of it, and by taking care of it, no, I didn't kill it. I happened to got 2 chafing dish lids that had sitting by the back door. Managed to get it scooped up in them, carried it down over the hill into the woods, let it go. And I told it, you gotta be lucky I didn't kill you, because anybody else out here, that's their first instinct. Run and get something to kill it with. And then yesterday, I was out here trying to find a hose clamp. Man alive, normally ain't that. Of course, I'm usually not telling any kind of stories, but I just climbed up that hill. I mean, it looks level, but it's a hill. So anyhow, I found another one up in the mower shed yesterday. About half the size of the one that was down there in the manor house. One in the manor house was about as long as what you are tall, and I'm gonna say maybe about an inch in diameter. Now I don't know centimeters or millimeters or anything is what that converts to. So the one up in the shed yesterday, I think it managed to find a hole in the wall, crawl out of it. I was trying my best to catch it, kind of remove it from the area. Oh man. I know this is the point. Or if we was out here, you'd probably be about 4 meters ahead of me going, come on, old man. Come on, Grandpa. And, you know, it's hard to believe. Whenever I was a teenager, say 15, 16 years old, I managed to run one city block, a pair of blue jeans, hiking boots, and a flannel shirt. 4 laps around the city block, they said, was equivalent to 1 mile. And I managed to do it dressed like that in just a little over 7 minutes. And today, I just about get winded walking on level ground. Oh, a little tiny statuette. So, this, where we're coming out at, is down here where all the cottages is at. And some of them's got parking right in front of them. And we got a couple of them that you park there and you walk down there. There's another statuette, figurine or whatever you want to call it. So there's basically the trailhead where we just come from. And all these signs, white things you see, they're basically signs. It's got the names of the cottages on them. There's West cottages, and there's 3 of them. Cover that license plate up. But whenever we mow out here, about every one of these trees, I have to weed eat around. The picnic table up there's the same way. And then down over the hill there, I've got to kind of sort of spot weed eat some of that because they don't want to mow. It's a zero turn mower. And here's an example right here of those signs. Well, these 3 right here, they're the ones that's basically like a motel room. They've got where that little window is right there to the left of the door. That's the housekeeping closet. And then right here on the end, that little protrusion, that's where the bathroom's at. And they've got a miniature kitchenette, which is about the size of a small closet. And then they've got the bed, and the living room's all together. And then these over here across this island thing, that one, and that one, they're huge inside. And then them three cottages back here behind us, they're done up like a house, but they're not as big as these other three over here across from us. But, you know, they're nice. Everything, some of them's got satellite dish or cable, I don't know for sure which. And then some of them, they just have it set up to where all you can watch is movies. And then they've got Wi-Fi out here, so you can keep in touch with your laptop. And then our house over there, it belongs to one of the owners. And the whole time I've been here, I've never known of them ever staying in it. And then it says it's a one-way loop, but somebody comes in, they want to go to the left instead of to the right. I don't say anything at all to them. I do the same thing. This little figurine of a boy with a golf club in his hand. And then this is kind of yellowish looking. It's not the real deep, rich green or whatever it is that these other trees are. I'll show you right here on this one. What am I talking about? How well that shows up. There is a difference in color. Reason behind that is the microclimate that one back here is used to is pretty much gone. So it's slowly dying. So anyhow, this is back here towards the maintenance shed or shop. And then they built a privacy wall basically to hide this monstrosity. I had to paint that out here one day. And we've got shed. We got the Kubota sitting in, and then we've got like a backhoe tractor. I got to drive that Kubota from time to time. And then their backhoe. I even had to paint that shed. So, basically what I'm going to do now is go ahead and shut this off and get everything set up to try to upload it. Looks like it's going to take a while. It's about 45 minutes long. Of course, I could have told you that whenever it started, but I didn't know. But I was going to continue on out with it. So, I will get this posted. Of course, being at the end of the video, I don't think really much matters now. Anyhow, it's kid friendly. You can share it with Anna. I'm pretty sure she'll appreciate it. I mean, another walk through the woods. Like I said, there wasn't nothing really extravagant about it other than that little loop down there where all the gnomes was at. So, hopefully, I'll be able to chat with you this weekend. So, or, well, not this weekend, but next. So, I will talk to you later. Bye.